Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Women Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, hello, welcome back, my royalty. So let's sip on some petty tea, hot, cold, lukewarm, whichever. Oh, but yeah, that reminds me of a Luke that I've met years ago. Oh, he was more than warm. anyway. Okay, so I mentioned and talked about my Patreon in the last episode. So if you want to know more about what I'm doing, what I'm working on, how I am uploading like crazy and everything, because even if you just want to look to see if I'm telling the truth, once you click on it and you go through the hundreds of photos, it's a lot like as a free person, a lot of them are going to be blurry, but you're going to know they're there. So. But anyways, okay, I'll talk about it in another episode and stuff, but a lot is on my mind. If I have some free, because I know even the last episode was shorter than normal because I started thinking more and more and I'm like, yeah, I want to dig deeper in, especially from my personal experience. Because again, when colonizing able bodied, cis, straight men want to try to tell me who I am, what I'm supposed to act like, what I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to talk, and everything. But then at the same time, a lot of them now, this year, 2025, they want to say that they have black fatigue and things like it's just like, you're trying to tell me what I'm supposed to act like, but then you're trying to tell me that you have black fatigue, but then, and you're trying to stereotype and be very dehumanizing, awful, terrible, bigoted, racist, and everything. And you want to look at us like we're a cookie cutter because you say that you have black fatigue and then you tell me what I'm supposed to act like, but then you want me to act like what you quote unquote have fatigue from, and then you want to complain about my people, but then when I get upset with you, then you're like, oh, see, this is what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about, like mm, and I hope the person I'm talking about one day hears this episode, because I mean there's so many different examples that I'm going to be mentioning, but that one specifically, and it wasn't Luke. Okay, because with DEI, one reason why we need it in the schools is because a lot of you guys, especially millennials, Generation Z, you stereotype. Generation X too, but I don't bump into them as often and everything. I mean, I see them here and there and everything like that, but mm, the way when they come up to me and try to, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna include them, but when they're rude, it's just to a point where I ignore them, and a lot of Generation X are just like, oh, okay, yeah, I was mean to her anyway, I'll give her that. It's like they're just like, yeah, I earned that, whatever, I don't care. So but with millennials and Gen Z, oh, Y and Z is just quite a so we very much need DEI in schools, because with the new alphabet coming out of Generation A and B, we shouldn't have them as ignorant and stereotypical, or them stereotyping other people. We should be teaching them more hardcore of be who you want to be your genuine self, be your best person. But so many people are so scared. Oh, that means you're trying to teach them to be trans. That means you're trying to teach them to be in the LGBTQ plus. That means you're trying to teach them to be, and it's just like, I'm trying to tell them to be their best them. Okay. You're trying to teach them to be something based off just like the cookie cutter of the Bible. No, but and that's another thing. Whenever there is like same gender, same sex kiss or whatever. Oh, you're trying to brainwash me. You're trying to do this. But then when it's male, female, It's fine. And even interracial, I've had people tell me they had an issue when it's like a white woman it kisses a black man, or a black woman kisses like, or any mix, but those are kind of like the. But it's just kind of, and even with I forgot her name, Mindy. I think, yeah, I think it's Mindy. But I know like a lot of people had issues with her having like the male love interest not be of the same culture and things, but she said she based it off her life. And I can relate to that because like a lot of people stare, and this is why we need DEIs in school, because even as a black person with black men, black women out there, they should be able to know that being black doesn't mean you have to act like or act the way that society tells you you have to act. That it's not color coded, that since you're black, this is how you're supposed to be. And that's one trick, or that, yeah, that the colonizers tried to place upon us. And even back in the day, when they flooded the black cities with special candy and things like that in order to get addiction and try to like just pollute and terrorize and destroy the urban and black communities and things like that. But then they don't want to take blame. Yeah. Then they want to blame. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to talk about the single family homes and like the structures of the male within the household in a different episode, because when you look at the history of it, so many of them, of the colonizers, want to blame black people for that. But then if you really dig deep into the the hazards and the terrorizing of our culture and things like that, it's terrifying. And but then, okay, even as someone with a disability, do you know how many men have told me, there's nothing wrong with you, you're faking it, you're lying? They sound like the doctors. They sound just like the doctors. See, because even doctors should have a DEI training. Because, like, why do black women have 3 to 4 times the, like, the death rate of having babies? That doesn't sound right. That shouldn't be right. That's racist, bigoted, terrible. And remember the story I talked about a couple weeks ago? That black woman was in the chair with her. I'm so glad her sister was there, but she was literally in labor. Like, and the woman's just asking, "Oh, so is how many kids do you have?" And all these, like, why are you asking her? Like, you see, she's in pain, but and I have, even from personal experience, when I had to have my surgery and when I had to take different tests and things like that, my sadly, like, my sister had to teach me, because especially with her science like areas, whatever, of study, when they ask me how much pain I'm in, I have to increase the number, because they don't think black people go through as much pain. And they actually teach this in medical schools. I did a lot of research, and I will never forget my EDG test. Yeah, it was after my surgery and everything, and still wasn't diagnosed, and taking so many different tests. And one of the doctors were like, "Yeah, let's give you an EDG." And I remember looking it up, and I was like, "Oh dear, like, what? What are they gonna do to me?" So anyway, it's like the first guy comes in, he does his part, and it was kind of like, yeah, oh, and this lasts for about, I think, 30 to 40 minutes, up to an hour. Oh, no, actually, for me, it was about an hour, because then he had to come back later and do a part two. And it was more, yeah. And it was really kind of like funny, because, like, I mean, my sister held my hand during parts of it and stuff. And the doctor was like, how can we get your mind off of this? Because when she had to do her part, Whew. The first time she pricked me, her response was more horrifying than my response. Because she said, "Oh dear God, hold up, wait, and hold up, you're Indian, hold up, like, okay, what? When you say that, that's scary. Why'd you say that? Why'd you say that? Nothing." And she, like, we all start laughing because I'm for real. I'm just uh, like, is something wrong? Because I mean, I'm like, for someone that's not diagnosed with a disability, like, part of me was like, thank God, because I was like, now we have answers. Now maybe I know why I walk like this and stuff like that. So, because for years I kept saying, this is normal, that's normal. And doctors kept telling me, see, you're just making it up. You're lying. It's like you want attention and test after test. So for me to act, I heard her. And part of me was scared, but part of me was just like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. It's finally a test that's not gone right. So, have you ever wanted to fail a test so badly? It's really, I wanted to fail a test. It is like, but yeah. Then she told me the news, and so she was like, we're gonna have to get your mind off of this while I do it. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And she was just like, you could play any music in the back, because I was like, I played music during this one test. Can we do that? Yeah, whatever you want. And I was just like, okay. And then I'm like, oh well, uh you're like, I know you're religious, so I don't want any swearing. I don't care if it has swearing. Like, she was letting me get away with anything. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I love Disney too. So I ended up mixing it up with, like, either it was like some of it was rap and then Christian rap and Disney. It was really odd mix. But and it's like she was doing the test and everything. But yeah, I ended up passing the test, but really oddly, like, yeah, it's complicated, but yeah, that wasn't what's wrong with me. And that's why they had to make the other guy come back and do a part two. I'm just like, what in the world? Oh, but anyway, it's like when men try to tell me, you don't look like anything's wrong with you. Oh, well, if something's wrong with you, I have to know. You have to tell me. Because it's like, I think you're just making it up. Or, oh, well, you just use a scooter because you know that you're going to need me. And then after you're with me, I'm going to permanently put you in there. And, or, oh, so you use like walking, like, equipment and stuff. So that means if we're on a date and stuff and I want you to stay the night and things, all I gotta do is move the walker into another room and that'll keep you where I want you. And I've said all of these in different episodes and things, but how comfortable would you feel around these people? And then at the same time, like, and one of the guys even told me, oh, this is how I'm gonna, uh, like, find out that you're lying, because it's like, if you have to go to the bathroom, you're going to walk. I'm gonna be able to see you walk, and I'm gonna see that you're taking from the government. Yeah, I never saw, like, because yeah, I blocked him as soon as I got home. I didn't even wait. Like, yeah, because it's like I didn't block him on social media though, so it was really funny because I blocked his number, and while I was getting ready for bed or whatever, I get a message on social media. I'm trying to call you. Why? Like, what's going on? And I didn't even answer. I just blocked him there too. Because if you're ever going to try to put me in that situation, and then if you don't believe me, and like, but even so many places where we, like, even when I'm out with my sister or family or whatever, people like, oh, what happened? Oh, you can just get surgery, you don't look like anything's wrong with you. And like, even jobs, even teaching. I've told you guys how just ableist and some of them racist the students are. I've had students say, well, I like there was because I've had this happen a few times with some of the colonizing male students. Because, yeah, the colonizing male students are the worst, but I've got colonizing women too who sometimes, some of them are the, like, oh, some of them are amazing in the best. Like, it just depends. It's like, it's kind of like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing. Either I got the Dr. Jekylls or I got the Mr. Hydes. And there was one where she was absolutely amazing. And I've had one where, yeah, sometimes she would try to throw some daggers like, well, I know I soak up information better than you, so by the time I'm your age, I'm going to know twice as much as you do. Oh, well, uh, let's see. I'm trying to think of another example from that particular student. But yeah, I've had students say where, well, I know I went to a better school than you did. And, or, well, I don't know how you finished college, but, hmm. And, or, well, I know someone had to teach you how to speak correctly. I know someone had to teach you how to speak correctly in order to get a job like this. Yeah. Or, why do you talk like that, professor? It's like, you don't talk like the people in your hood. You don't talk like the people in your crew. Oh, so you talk like, because these are by different students. Oh, well, do you talk like this because you're practicing how you talk to the cops? I've had a lot of stupid comments, and but this is why it's like we need DEI, because some people want to stereotype us, put us down, and then they have the nerve to say they have black fatigue, and or it's like, because I'm not, all of these examples are by colonizing people. It's like, do you know how many times it's been by Middle Eastern people, and Asian people? Yeah, yeah, yeah. They really hate us. And oh, on my Patreon, I have so many hate messages, bigoted messages from the Asian community about black people. And a lot of the Asian Indian community hate black people, but they have no problem loving our culture. K-pop, yeah. And then a lot of their fashion, yeah. And some of their hairstyles and a lot of the things that they do, they got from the black community. They hate us, but they love our culture. They hate us, but they want to take advantage of the different type, like, ways that we have held ourselves together within a community. Yeah. Because, oh, what do, like, in some parts of Asia, what do they love to eat on Christmas Day? hmm Yeah. Something we're stereotyped to loving and eating. Yeah. Yeah. But because even like they're known, or even with the culture of fried chicken, yeah, look into that too. So I don't know. It's just like when it comes to DEI, there is so much ignorance and hate and injustice, and just like so many people want to fight against the concept because they don't care about anybody that's not like them. Like, they don't live around anybody different from them. And the less they know, the more they are allowed to be ignorant and stereotype and be racist and bigoted. But then if you call them that, they say you're mean. And they say how we are supposed to teach them, but then, oh no, they don't want to learn. They don't care. and or they say that our learnings mm, is false or fake news. So but yeah, let's go back to some different examples because especially even I'm lighter skin African American. Some call me red skin, like red boned or yellow or whatever. And some people act like, well, you're not black enough. Like one at one moment I'm too black. Another I'm not black enough. And oh yeah, black men, pay attention to this because I'm going to be talking about you too. Because do you know how many black men have told me that I can never be black enough because, or I'm not a real black woman, and or it's like, mm, yeah, I'm going to save some of this for another episode, but they have the nerve to say all of this. And again, while stereotyping, and it's like sometimes I wonder, do they refuse DEI because they want stereotyping to continue? Because as someone who was lighter skinned, it's like, yes, there are some things that I am able to take advantage of, and I feel bad and I hate it. And there are some times where I'm excluded from communities and things because I'm not dark enough, or it's like, 'cause I know Zendaya is mixed, but and some people automatically think I'm mixed. Do you know how many job interviews I've been to and they're like, so which one of your parents are white? Neither. Oh no, no, but no. Which one of your parents is white though? Neither. Both of my parents are black. Oh no, well, how did you? It's like, oh, I can't stand like, because I'm like, just read a book, look it up. So many people, they don't know so much, but instead of looking that information up, they watch their conservative news. And then when people like myself, when we get jobs and opportunities, they always want to say, you only got the job because you're black. Hmm. But then black women are the most educated demographic in this country. But then they keep saying how we only get the jobs because we're black. But then we have to work like twice, three, 8, 10, 20 times harder in order to get the same opportunities as a like cis, white, straight, able bodied man. Because it's like everything that I did, like that I accomplished, was as a black woman with a disability. Did I struggle? Yes. Did I give up at times? Yeah, absolutely. There were just because, especially with jobs, it's like when I walk in, they'd stereotype. I would have never pictured you with your resume. Oh, how do you speak so proper? Do you talk like this all of the time? So, with your walking, when are you going to go get that fixed? You don't look like anything's wrong with you. So, it was like, you're going to get that fixed before you start here, right? Or are you trying to get this job so you can get insurance so that we'll be able to fix you? Yeah, I've had all of those questions asked and so much more. So when people try to tell me that they don't need DEI with work and employment, things like that, when they try to tell me that I only got the job because of my race and things, even though DEI, especially like when it comes to work, has helped the white women the most. It has. Well, so many things that were made in this country were to help the white women. Yeah. Even the affordable housing that was made for white women. Yeah. Go look it up. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, it's just really annoying and frustrating because when it comes to dating and work, employment, and now I'm trying to start my own business. So applying, like right now, I'm working on the business plan and constructing, and I keep tearing it apart and putting it back together because I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to include the the candles on top, because on top of the novels and the children's books and the activity books, but then there's going to be the candles and the greeting cards, and then with the YouTube channel and the other like projects that I'm in the middle of, because well, the poetry is kind of like I need to write more. I do, but I haven't had time. And but yeah, there are so many things that I'm working on, and even with that I get stereotyped. With yeah, starting the business and investing. So many people. Investing is for white people. I've had that told to me by white and black people. Black people wake up. It's like it's like that one rapper who says you don't need to be literate but be financially literate. That's an easy part of financial literacy. Like even if it's $5 a week, get open an Acorns account. And yes, it's not gonna grow that quickly, but it's something. And it's something that's gonna grow. And if you do that every week, you know, it's like $16, no, $20. Yeah, it's like I was thinking $4 a week, but no, $5. So yeah, $20 like a month is like over time, like by the end of the year, you know, it's a little something something. And then the next year it'll double because yeah, you're gonna continue that. And then the next year is gonna like, you know, grow even more. And well, some people, you know, say duh, but like, do you know how many people of color and black people I've talked to, but especially black people? Because a lot of the people of color, they already know this stuff. They've learned. And so I feel like one of the projects I really want to do, which, oh, that one female basketball player is like, she did some modeling too. She was a dime piece. She looked amazing. But her and I believe it's Shaquille O'Neal are going to be starting like a literacy school or class or program, and I love that. And because we need that. We need to stop being stereotyped. We need to stop stereotyping investing for white people. We need to start knowing how to use our money for our longevity and for our future and for future goals and things like that. We need to stop being looked at, you know, in certain stereotypical ways when it comes to money. Because, yeah, it's like they want to take DEI away because I feel like they want us to stay in that stereotypical mode. They want our mindsets to just think this is all we could be or all we want or need to be. This is how we think of ourselves. So I think once we have DEI in the classroom, it'll allow people to learn more about who they want to be, look at different opportunities, different goals, and different things that normally, when you look at that person, you wouldn't think that would be a quote unquote match or whatever. But you never know. And because I'm an example of that, like with a lot of the things I've done, most people would say, that doesn't fit you. That's like, black people don't do this. Women don't do that. Oh, you're trying to start a business? Why are you trying to do that? No one's going to look at you. No one's going to take you seriously. Well, I guess I'm working on building my wheelchair for the table. And that board table better have enough room for me. If not, I will make room. I will build an attachment for that too. But thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.